This video brought to you by Backwoods Home Magazine.
Hey there guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on a project for my in-laws, and that is building them a chicken coop. It's about 80% finished so far, and for those of you who have followed my channel for any amount of time, you'll notice that it is a very similar design to my own chicken coop. So for those of you folks who always ask me if I have plans or how did I build my own, definitely check out the next few minutes and it'll give you a pretty good idea. So I'll show you how I've gotten it to this point, and then I'll take the camera and give you a quick walk around, show you the windows, doors, egg box, and then a few of the other things I have yet to install.
The first thing that I'm putting together is the base of the coop, and this is what the coop will eventually rest upon. The base serves as a nice template for when you're laying out all of your boards for the walls of the coop, and helps to keep them square as well. Once my four walls were framed up, I'm adding plywood to two of the walls while they're on the ground to help square them up and give them a little bit of strength before assembling the structure. To set the pitch or angle of my roof, I simply just experimented with a couple of different angles on my miter saw until I got the pitch that I thought looked the nicest. After I got all the roof supports together, I added a couple pieces of plywood just to give them a little bit of extra strength, and then just set them into place. And one quick side note, you'll see me using my finish nailer for almost every attachment in this video, but in almost every instance I follow up with a pre-drilled hole and a screw. The nail gun is simply just easier to do for the camera and easier to set things in place, but a screw is generally superior to a finish nail.
Now that the basic frame of the coop is up, it's time for the doors, windows, and those kind of openings. And one of the easiest ways I've found to do that when you have a flat wall like this, rather than measuring and getting everything perfect, is to build whatever size opening you want out of your fascia framing. And as you can see, I've done that just here. And then what I'll do is just kind of hold it up and find an area that I think it looks nice in, where it's centered and everything. And then I will mark my opening and cut it. So let's get to doing that, and we'll get some of these doors on.
One additional thing to note is all the entrances, once cut out, get back faced with boards to help create a weather-tight seal. You'll notice it right here.
Right now I'm installing the trim boards that are going to go on either side of the gable ends of the roof. And what you'll notice is I'm just using some simple clamps to hold these boards in place while I make my cut marks and my marks to make sure everything's aligned, so that when I start nailing or screwing this in, everything's going to be lined up. In addition to the roof trim, the next pieces of trim I'm going to be installing are these corner pieces. They're actually going to serve two purposes. One is going to be protecting the edges of the plywood where they meet together, and number two, they will serve to just give the coop a cleaner, more finished look, kind of like that. And now we've hit the painting phase, and this is my favorite way to paint. To make the doors to the coop, like the egg box door and the main entry door, I'm simply using these scrap cutouts that you saw me cut out of the main sheets of plywood. These are actually pretty thin, but what I'm going to do is add a little frame that I made on the outside, and that will give a more finished door, as well as all that wood on the outside, once it's glued and screwed together, is going to stiffen up the door a lot more than just this plywood would be. And then I'm going to seal all the edges really well, and it should make for a really nice door. Now that you're all caught up to this point, let me give you a quick walk around the coop, talk about the features, and then some of the things that I have yet to do. So the first thing you'll notice is this platform right here. This is what the coop will eventually rest upon. It'll serve two functions: one, to get the coop off the ground, and two, to allow the chickens to go underneath the coop and get some much needed shade in our summers. Now moving over to the chicken coop, the first thing you'll notice is this opening right here. This is going to be the primary entrance and exit for the chickens to go into the chicken yard. There will probably be a little ramp here, and then on the inside I'll eventually build a little security door that can be closed in the case that my in-laws need to keep the chickens cooped up, no pun intended, for a period of time. On the roof, it won't be tar paper. It'll eventually have some corrugated panels put on top of there, and that will be in the part 2 video. Moving over to the front side, you'll notice there's a window up there. I'll probably put some screening or a piece of plexiglass in there. I still haven't decided. And then this is just the main entrance to store food or to clean the coop out, different things like that. Moving over to this side, you'll notice the only opening here is the egg box, and just got a couple simple hinges, and then I have yet to build the little nest boxes yet, but that'll come in part 2. And then on the back side, you're going to notice there's one window and one opening down here. And what this opening is a clean out opening, and I wish I would have done it on my coop, but basically it's a little flip up door, and this will be flush with the bottom of the floor of the coop. And then from the other side, or from this side, you can use a rake to simply push or pull all of the nest stuff out when the coop needs to be cleaned out. So actually that's a feature I wish I had on my coop. So anyway guys, I hope this was informative. I think that's pretty much everything that I have yet to come up. Oh, actually I will be installing a water system, and then some roosts, some little roost bars on the inside of the coop in part 2 as well. So hopefully this gave you some good ideas in case you are planning a similar type of project. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.